us from here on out. He's got a 2 o'clock arraignment. What will happen with that? It's federal court. Can you kind of take us through that process for today?
Well, he'll be arraigned on the charges that he's been indicted for. The question of bail will be argued. They will pick another date for this defendant to be back in court, and the prosecutors will outline, at least in a general summary form, the factual recitation which forms the basis for the indictments.
For legal significance in their case that they are making against Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, how significant is this arrest today, do you suspect, in just finding some information? Obviously, he's not been charged in connection with the bombing itself, but the aftermath of a cover-up, allegedly. What do you feel that this will give those prosecutors as they head into court?
Well, this shows, as Ed Davis alluded to, this shows that this is a very active, ongoing, and comprehensive investigation. Whether or not prosecutors need this information to convict Dzhokhar, that's doubtful. But this shows that they are uncovering everything that they can, and they're not going to stop following the evidence until they hold everybody responsible who had anything to do before, after, or during the marathon bombings.
And Gerry, I'm sure you've prosecuted in many cases where people have allegedly covered things up or have obstructed justice or an investigation in some way. It's interesting looking at the 4 counts here of this indictment, because count 1 is the destruction and alteration and falsification of records, namely all the different websites that he visited during that week that he deleted. That's really count 1, the fact that he hit delete, delete, delete on all of these different things. Counts 2, 3, and 4 are all about making some type of false statement. And it's interesting because each count, Gerry, is about one particular lie on one particular date. For instance, count 2 is about a lie that he made talking about the restaurant. That he didn't quite tell the truth about how they got to the restaurant, the fact that he actually drove them home. Count 3 is a second lie, where he says the first time that he even thought about them as the bombers was when he heard the term Chechen brothers. And it goes on to say, well, he definitely thought of them as the bombers earlier than that because he saw their pictures put out by the FBI. And then count 4 is yet another lie, according to prosecutors, where he talks about the video files that had been downloaded on his computer and that he lied about that as well. Is it sort of out of the norm? Is it unusual that you would have 3 different counts, all of them with their own individual lie, and not just one count sort of covering all the lies?
No, it's not unusual because each of these different lies are in a different context and can provide different information to the investigators. And on the back end of this, had he told the truth to investigators, they would not have spent the time and the resources and the manpower following up on the lies and sending them down a wrong path. So oftentimes you will see various different lies that are told in different contexts regarding different subject matter charged separately.
Gerry, I know you said that this arrest shows that they're not stopping in the investigation, that they're going to turn over every rock that they possibly can. But with this arrest today and with these charges, I would imagine that this would be very useful information, that they would rather him give some information up so that they can really piece together the week after the marathon bombing. I would imagine even if they have a strong case against Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, this could really fill in that week for them, seeing as how they're alleging this individual was with the Tsarnaev brothers that whole week.
No, that's a good point, and this could just as soon be an anomaly. He could be just an independent person who came and went in their life during that week, or it could lead us to a continuum of evidence that leads us to other things. I mean, we do know that the prosecutors and the investigators continue to look at various different aspects of this investigation, such as former Commissioner Davis just referred to, the bomb making. The production of those IEDs. There's various evidence that tells us that the 2 brothers did not make those IEDs, and investigators won't stop until they find who did.
How serious are these charges that he's facing? What is he looking at here?
They're extremely serious. The count of destruction of evidence is a 20-year felony, and the false statement counts are 8 years each. But these type of charges strike at the very core of the justice system. When you have a serious, violent crime like this with national and international dimensions, and you have people lying about it, it sends a message that you can't strike at the very core of the justice system and tell lies to people who are trying to solve these crimes without being punished.
It's actually a very good point, that it really sends a message to other people out there who, for whatever reason, think, well, I didn't do the crime, I just sort of, you know, told some white lies in the days after. Those white lies in this particular case, in this indictment, they're big, big lies, because they, in some ways, led to the death of Sean Collier on the campus of MIT late on that Thursday night of April the 18th. If this individual in this indictment had come forward, according to prosecutors, when he first saw the pictures of his friend, he would have been able to tell investigators, yes, I know who they are. In fact, I spoke to them a couple of days ago. Here's where I think they are. And according to prosecutors, Matanov did none of that.